You didn't exist, you want the world to stand up, and the students finally did. Let's quit it.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is Awesome. I'm broadcast coming to you live from now sunny. Previously was a little gloomy. California, Los Angeles folks are alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is Monday News Day, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs. It's Monday News Day. It's Monday, October 21st, 2024, and I am a little late. And I apologize for the tardiness, but this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, and I tell you exactly why I'm a little tardy as well. Last night I ended the broadcast to hang out with my family. I know a lot of you were very upset because half day, 7 hour, didn't actually end up playing spoopy games. It's really fucked up. And honestly, it was valid because I hung out with my family. I hung out with my mom. I watched a little bit of KAOS. You already know, because that's the one show that my mom and I can sit down and watch. And as you know, it's like busy work almost. Like I just have to find any show that she will sit through and then inevitably get bored of or fall asleep watching. And that is the one we've arrived at. It's KAOS, KAOS. Apparently they're canceling the second season, which is wild to think about because it's like not a bad show. Anyway, but yeah, we did that, ordered some Mexican food. But there was something that people in this community had asked me if I had watched. And that something is the One Piece love letter. And for me, I had no idea what you guys were talking about at first. And then I went on Crunchyroll and I found out what love letter was. Turns out it's the next episode that was drawn by the best animation team that they have over at Toei. And it was amazing. It was fantastic. It made me happy. It made me sad. I teared up by the end of it. And I think it's because I myself am also a stan of the Straw Hat Mugiwara Pirates. And I think that's why I love Bartholomew so much, right? It's Bartholomew that's the one that's the cannibal. That's the big stan, right? And it's the same reason why I love the love letter episode, because it's like it almost is reflecting back people like ourselves who are fans of the Straw Hats, but this time they're like normal civilians existing in the world, and even normal Navy, Marine soldiers and their own personal ambitions and how they get cast aside in massive battles, because they show like Marineford, and they show it's centered around the Sabaody archipelago and Marineford from the perspective of like random people that are existing as like normal civilians or a part of the fucking Navy. And it was really fun, it was really cute, and it was really awesome. I loved it. I highly recommend it. I wish they would redraw the entire Fishman and Sabaody archipelago arc, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're just simply condensing it. Have you seen Dandadan? Of course. Dandadan is peak. It's fantastic. It's wall to wall. It's so silly. It's goofy. There's not a beat that skips. There's no misses on it. All hits. Been trying to confirm if you're week to week for the last 6 months. Exciting shit. With One Piece, I have officially caught up. So that's why I watched the last episode of One Piece, and I assume that now they're just like, they use this as a jump off point to be like, we're going back to the Sabaody archipelago and we're going to condense and recreate the Fishman Island arc. Oh, they're reanimating it, not just condensing it. Oh my God. If they're reanimating it with the new team, I will fucking lose my mind. I think that would be fantastic. I might just like pick up the manga, start reading where I left off, like where the anime left off. Who knows? I might get crazy with it. Anyway, so that's what I did last night. I also then watched My Hero Academia, but it's like never the same after watching One Piece. You watch One Piece and then you go to Mid Hero Academia and you're like, ugh, this is not the same. It doesn't hit the same. And it sucks because like I really liked I relied on My Hero Academia when One Piece was like so fucking slow and such a trek and a mess in terms of like reused assets and how boring of a slog it had become during Wano. And now after Egghead, I'm like, this is the greatest anime of all time. What the fuck do you mean? It altered my perception of things that I had already perceived. Woke up this morning, worked out, did some weightlifting. You already know what it is. Even though I had busted my ankle, for the record, that is a real thing that happened. As you guys know, yesterday when I was playing basketball, I rolled my ankle because the dude I was like playing against, the dude that was guarding me, literally fucking put his leg under me as I was shooting a 3-pointer. It's a flagrant. It's like one of the worst things you can do to someone. Like, I rolled it off of his foot. You know what I mean? It's a flagrant foul. It's not that I'm getting old, dumbass. It's that the fucking dude was an asshole and literally did something that is completely unacceptable. It's a super shitty thing to do when you're in the air and then someone fucking deliberately places their fucking foot underneath you so you step on the foot and like twist your ankle. But having said that, despite my old age, I unironically didn't injure myself that bad. As a matter of fact, the entire day I didn't even feel it. And then as soon as I was done with the stream, I elevated it. I did rice, you know, rest, ice, compression, elevation. I did it. I riced it up. And yet, after I started ricing it up, that shit started exploding on me. I couldn't even step on it. So I don't know what happened. But basically it's fine now. Like, I mean, I used a brace this morning and I didn't go as hard on my deadlifts because I didn't want to put like all this additional fucking strain on it, but we're good. Doctors say rice is no good anymore. Fucking dude. The meta changes too much, brother. I don't understand it, okay? Rice is outdated. It slows recovery. Okay, well, I don't know, man. I'm not fucking keeping up with it. All right, how about that? I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what the latest and greatest is. How about that? Heads up, your old podcast co-host is another big episode of attacks lined up against you today. Against me or against Twitch? Because, like, I don't even... God... I just don't even know what to say, what to do. It's just like, it's so tiring, dude. I hate this timeline. Yeah, it's like every day, dude. Every fucking day. No, now it's just because you're the singular terrorism defender and anti-Semitism causer. They're doing it the Majority Report now too. Oh, they're coming after Majority Report too? Great. That's actually good because then people will understand how fucking laughable and silly this shit is. Because like, Sam Cedar is not like me, okay? He is an older gentleman who has been at this game for a very long time. He's very careful about his language. He has been a mainstream figure for quite some time. I think it's good to expose the Majority Report to any community. Sam is a good debater. He's a great debater. Attacking a nice social democrat uncle is a bad strategy. Yeah. The unbans are fucking crazy, but like the way these unbanned people hate your guts should show you that they're not the same. Yeah, I know. That's what's so funny about it is like, if I am in any way, shape, or form the secret fucking owner and founder of Twitch, do you think I would ever in a million fucking years unban Sneeko and Fresh and Fit? You have to be delusional. Like, it's the most insane fucking thing. It's not that people say I'm a secret owner of Twitch or whatever. They just say that like I have a tremendous amount of influence over the platform or some shit. I don't fucking know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't think anyone's saying that. No, they're heavily implying it. No, they behave like I'm the fucking Twitch puppet master. Okay. Like that is what people are behaving like. That is the way that people act as though I am. So stop being disingenuous, please. Jesus. I can't even have a fucking single goddamn conversation. It's just like everyone has to literally jump over it. It's impossible to engage in this discourse in a productive way with this community. Yeah, I know. Just in general, it's impossible to engage in this conversation in a productive manner because it's an utterly unproductive conversation. It's entirely unproductive. Turks came in for the Fedo commentary, apparently. Oh yeah, Fethullah Gülen is dead. But motherfucker was 83. The CIA is very sad today. The CIA, very sad today. They lost one of their best assets. RIP BOZO. Pack watch. Fuck Fethullah Gülen. My Turkish trainer is from a Gülenist family. There's a lot. There's like hella fucking Gülenists out here. It's weird, bro. It is. I mean, I guess it's not that weird because like I said, he is straight up an American State Department asset. So it does make sense. Why did you dislike the guy? Fethullah Gülen? Fethullah Gülen is a fucking weird ass like Muslim cleric that straight up set up like a parallel government in Turkey, cut from originally the same cloth of Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He's a Islamist fundamentalist, and also he is the Falun Gong of Turkey, if that makes sense for all the fucking Western audiences that want to understand, like, he originally was like cut from the same fucking group and institutional background of like Recep Tayyip Erdogan and like the Muslim right in Turkey, but then they obviously they had differences in agreement, and I think that difference in agreement was born out of like probably American State Department interests in general. But those guys were all like the Turkish like Muslim right, conservative right movement was also directly funded and facilitated by America, alongside the ultra nationalist movement in Turkey, the JJJ, the fucking MHP, MHP, the ultra nationalist party in Turkey. These were all like CIA backed movements in the nation during the Cold War, and one of them was obviously like the Muslim angle, and Fethullah Gülen was like originally aligned with Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He had his fucking tentacles in every part of Turkish society, from the police to the courts to the fucking military even. It's crazy. And then there was a failed coup that happened, and they did not succeed. Erdogan used the coup to his advantage to change the constitution of the nation as like a one that was no longer a parliamentary system, but instead a presidential structure. It's like funny that there are people who are fans of him in Turkey and also around like in diaspora. There's a lot of fucking Feto fans, but he's just like a random fucking CIA guy, basically. I'm in a unique position because like I obviously am not a fan of the Erdogan government, right? But I also fucking despise Fethullah Gülen, and dare I say even more than I despise the Erdogan government, because not only are they both like fundamentalists, but one was also a fundamentalist working directly with the American State Department, versus like one is like directly in the pocket of the CIA, whereas the other one, at least like every now and then, will have, you know, will demonstrate some level of fucking autonomy, you know? I guess like the one thing I will say is that, you know how the Western world like really beefed up the Wahhabists in the region and the Salafists, and they were like, oh yeah, these are gonna be like our counterbalance to like secular pan-Arabic nationalist movements that sometimes were like social democrat or like socialist adjacent. Like, we can't have that. This is a resource-rich region. We can't have them align with the USSR. That would be devastating for the global economy from the perspective of the Western world. So they basically propped up those like Salafists and shit. And then America turned around and were like, uh-oh, these guys are actually kind of crazy, and now they're actually killing our people. I don't like that. What's a better way that we can promote Islamist thought, but in a more moderate fashion? And I'm not saying that Fethullah Gülen was more moderate. I'm saying that America perceived him as the more moderate counterbalance, because there has to always be a fucking, they always have to have one guy. Well, not just one guy, many guys, but there always has to be someone that they're propping up. And that was their guy. They saw, the American State Department saw Fethullah Gülen as a more moderate version of like Islamist fundamentalism that could be controlled, because Fethullah Gülen was living in the fucking Poconos. And basically, there are still a network of schools, Turkish schools, all around Africa, the African continent, all around the United States of America, all around the world, that are all Fethullah Gülen schools. A lot of the Turkish schools that you see outside of Turkey are Fethullah Gülen schools. There's a lot of Fethullah Gülen schools in Turkey. Enes Kanter went to one, Samanyolu. I know this because he used to play basketball for Samanyolu and in Ankara when I was at Tel Ankara College. So it's a very long, convoluted, you know, complicated situation to explain, but that's what it is. And fuck Fethullah Gülen, for the record. Anyway, let's look at this. So this is an update. Streaming platform Twitch apologized after Israelis found they couldn't register as users. Yeah, what my suspicion is I think what ended up happening, which is that like they were being overly cautious and trying to fucking stop like IP banning like everyone that is from Palestine or Israel, because they use the same ISPs, in creating new accounts so they can like upload footage of October 7th. I think that when people say copium overly cautious, they don't realize like you have to find an alternative reason for it. Not only do I assume that this is largely because like they have this is the post austerity Twitch where they don't have enough fucking workers for anything really, but beyond that, I suspect that they probably took this initiative and then forgot to fucking change it, which I think is a massive fuck up for the record. It's completely unacceptable. I would never be an advocate for this, but we should think about the alternative reasons as to why they might have done such a thing and entertain them, specifically because of how fucking stupid it is to think of the alternative. The popular video live streaming platform Twitch has been accused of anti-Semitism after Israeli users discovered they were unable to create new accounts. As revealed by Ron Barzik on his X profile, the company blocked users with Israeli internet addresses days without an official response, but eventually Twitch issued a lengthy apology on its X account, explaining its rationale and stating that the ban had been lifted. According to Twitch, the ban targeted the email verification process for creating an account. The company claimed it was part of an effort to prevent the uploading of violent content in response to the events of October 7 last year, when Hamas attacked a string of Israeli border communities, killing approximately 1,200 people, sparking the ongoing war. Twitch said the block was inadvertently left in place and was only lifted once the issue was brought to its attention, but many users took issue with the explanation, noting that the ban had appeared to be based on internet protocol addresses rather than email verification. It's unclear whether the block persisted for months despite numerous complaints from Israeli users, or why it was imposed in the first place. Critics also question why similar restrictions weren't placed on users from other conflict zones such as Ukraine. This is not the only time that Twitch has faced accusations of anti-Semitism. Earlier this week, another controversy emerged at TwitchCon from the platform's annual convention. A viral clip from one of the panel's well-known streamers ranking other streamers on a scale of ranking ranging from Arab to Love Sabra, with the latter representing the lowest ranking. The Sabra hummus brand in the United States is a joint venture between PepsiCo and Israeli-based Strauss Group. Given that Sabra is also a common term for Israeli-born Jews, it's not, or at least like, not, I didn't even fucking know that. And the first person ranked at the bottom was a Jewish streamer, Ethan Klein, known as H3H3 on the platform. Many interpret the ranking as one from Arab to Jew. One panelist added, I'll just say it, there should be an even lower category called Zionist, which was met with applause from the audience. Klein himself responded in the short video on his YouTube channel, saying that the panelists have a history of making anti-Semitic comments under the guise of Israel or Zionism. He said he wasn't surprised by the incident. Klein also claimed that Twitch has a history of problematic behavior towards Jews, or at least a tolerance of anti-Semitic statements. He highlighted cases involving popular streamers Fresh and Fit, who posted anti-Semitic tweets, and Sneeko, another well-known streamer who praised Hamas. Both were temporarily suspended, but not permanently banned from the platform. So out of all of the criticisms that that Twitch has been taking in terms of like the anti-Semitism package, the onslaught of like anti-Semitism allegations, that paragraph right there is the only valid one. I mean, the IP block and not like restoring the IP ban or whatever the fuck is also unacceptable, obviously. And I do think that that's most likely oversight. But this, on the other hand, I do not agree with in any way, shape, or form. Just like I don't agree with any sort of restriction from like making new accounts. Wasn't the IP ban also affecting Palestine? Yes, of course. Another notable case is the Hassan Abi Turkish-American streamer who presents himself as a left-wing commentator on current events. Piker has hosted anti-American and anti-Israeli guests on his channel, including on one occasion a Houthi pirate who discussed the activities of the Yemeni Islamist rebel group, which is known for slogans such as "Death to America, and Curse the Jews." Piker has repeatedly spread false information and anti-Israel propaganda, sometimes veering into anti-Semitism. Despite this, Twitch has taken little action against him, suspending him for just 1 week for a specific comment. Wait, what? Who wrote this article? They brought forward the cracker ban? Dog, what is happening? Are they just like... Come on, man. I rely on Haaretz. I use it on a daily basis. I fucking love Gideon Levy. What the fuck is this? You guys are supposed to be real journalists, man. What the fuck? I like that they went, Piker has repeatedly spread false information and anti-Israel propaganda. Point to them. Can you point to the false information that I was spreading in anti-Israel propaganda? Now, this is, I think, worse than anything else because, like, this is a reputable paper. And I've said this before, as far as, like, Haaretz goes, like, obviously, there are fantastic writers on there, fantastic reporters on there, and then there's some fucking not so fantastic reporters on there. That is every fucking newspaper in general. It's interesting that they would, like, that this passes the smell test of, like, a decent report. I think it doesn't, right? Like, how is this like, it's not even framed as an op-ed. It's just straight up Like, this is real news reporting. Notice how they can't fucking grab onto anything because I'm very careful and very deliberate with my language, even if I have my pop-off moments or whatever. There's just not really much you can fucking point to. So it's always like second-degree associations, third-degree associations, who I've interviewed, you know what I mean? Like, when the situation becomes like unmanageable, when there's no real way to like defend Israel's actions in the West, like you just have to try to fucking silence some of the biggest critics, right? Did you see Stop Antisemitism tweet about you? No, man. Why are you? I don't give a shit, dude. Fuck stopantisemitism.org. They're fucking delusional. It's like one crazy woman from Long Island, dog. It's not like a reputable institution. What are you talking about? They're more predisposed with fucking yelling about Dua Lipa and Gigi Hadid than anything else. Yeah, it's no different than someone being like, did you see my tweet? Yeah, for context, that organization considers Bizan from Gaza, Greta Thunberg, Bassem Youssef, Jamal Bowman, Corey Bush, Rashida Tlaib, Gigi and Bella Hadid, Trevor Noah, Dua Lipa, Mehdi Hassan, AOC, anti-Semitic. They're fucking insane. The first two guys openly deny the Holocaust, and then they're like, this Hassan guy said the C word and mean things about Israel. I know. It just like doesn't really fit, does it? It doesn't really fit the bill, I don't think. It's disingenuous framing. I don't want to give it too much attention, but I suspect that this will be like an ongoing thing, an ongoing back and forth, non-freaking stop. You know, it is what it is. I'm used to it. This has been happening for fucking 6 years now, you know? I'm getting the feeling that they've started an active campaign to smear you. I fear they won't stop until they deplatform you. Yes, there is not anything I can do aside from hoping that people will have the capacity in this barrage of ridiculous smears, that they have the capacity to be charitable. I think especially because like most people understand where I'm coming from when it comes to the issue of Palestinian emancipation. Like, even if they're not primed with all the knowledge of like, oh, is this Islamophobic? Or even if they themselves might be a little Islamophobic personally, like they still, no matter what happens, like they still have this understanding that like what Israel is doing is kind of fucked up. Like that, I think that's what most people, like most people's approach, especially in our demographic, like under the age of 35, but even older now, is like, yeah, we should probably dial back at the very least. Like we should probably dial back what Israel's doing. So a lot of this stuff will ring hollow because most people can see right from wrong. I feel bad for other content creators on this platform. I feel bad for other content creators who are like also being targeted in the same way. No one should have to withstand this level of like cyber stalking and harassment. And since Gamergate, we haven't really figured out a coherent way, coherent and you know, successful way of dealing with this. Like there isn't any legislation around it. You know what I mean? It's very odd, but at the end of the day, it's super simple, dude. I do not believe that Israel represents all Jews. I think that that is inherently anti-Semitic. As a matter of fact, many Nazis also say that. I don't think it's appropriate to make this conflation. I think it is inherently dangerous to make this conflation. And I think that I know that Israel is an apartheid state. I know that Israel is conducting a genocide. It's an apartheid state on a good day. It's conducting a genocide in Gaza right now over the course of the past 12 months. If you don't have an issue with that, I don't know what to tell you. If you do have an issue with that, if you are frustrated by that, then good.